Hello, hello, and welcome back to the LudaCast. There's no way.
Yeah, Luda, no.
Can we even keep that in? Hello, how is everybody doing? I'm so used to a Twitch chat that can reply immediately saying, I'm doing great, I'm doing bad, you smell. My Twitch chat bullies me. If that's not normal, somebody let me know, because those are the comments I get from you guys. You guys are bullies. I'm gonna do a cyberbullying episode just talking about my Twitch chat. The title's gonna be like, I get cyberbullied, or I got cyberbullied and still am. It's just gonna have the Twitch logo and the chat. That'd be really funny. Hello. Welcome in. I hope you are doing well. I kind of wish I released my episodes at night because I feel like it'd be so cozy. What if this was like a little cozy episode and like, all right, everyone cozy up in some blankets, get a snack, cozy up for a nice little podcast, you know? But I know some of you guys listen to it while you're at work, so it's like, don't cozy up. Let's go. You got this. Absolute units. Work hard. Other hype things. Yes. Go girls. That's all my Twitch people are my girlies. we are, what's it? Confident in your masculinity? Is that what it is? We're all girlies. But no, welcome in. I'm gonna be brutally honest. It is Monday night. Your girl, I have procrastination / remembrance issues, and I want to blame my ADHD because even with school, I would procrastinate because I'm like, it's so overwhelming, I have to do it later. Or like, I can't do it right now, I have to do that later. It's just too much right now, I have to do it later. It can literally be the easiest of the easy like math equations, but it's like, it's too much, I gotta do it later. And then later comes, and then I procrastinate more, and then I forget about it until it's the due date, and I'm like, oh my word, I have to do it now. And then I feel rushed and whatever. And so it happened last week, and I was like, all right, Lulu, we have seen that this is a reoccurring issue. Old me would have never done anything about it, and then probably lead to burnout. Or just being like, all right, I'm going to push the podcast back, guys. All right, I'm going to push it. And then you guys are like, are you ever going to release a podcast? So that's what happened to the VOD channel. That's why we don't have VODs up, because Lulu keeps pushing it back. So I was like, all right, Lulu, we are going to set a record date where doesn't matter what you're doing that day, at some point you record a podcast. And then we're going to set a date, at some point you edit it. And I didn't do that, and it's Monday night, and this goes up in a couple hours. So Lulu's gonna do that this week. She's gonna set a date, and every day she's gonna record one, and that way I'm ahead. So yes, that is what happens. I have such a bad issue with like procrastinating, but then being very like, there could be a very important topic or issue or schoolwork or whatever it is I need to get done. But then there could be the most minuscule, like, dusting my PC. And I'd be like, no, that is first priority. Doesn't matter what is on my priority list. That has to get done. I don't know. I hate it. But you're here today. I want to talk about streaming and content creation because I think that a lot of people are very interested in just that lifestyle. And whether it's because they want to get into it or they have someone that they love that's in it and they want to learn more about their lifestyle. Or maybe they're just curious about a lifestyle that they don't know a lot about, and it's not something they personally want to be in, but they just want to know more about it. Because I think the curiosity around it is that there seems to be so many people in it, but they all live so many different lifestyles. And by that I mean, like, let's take a 9-to-5 office job. Yes, there's many different 9-to-5 office jobs, but at the end of the day, the majority of them share very similar schedule, and there's a similar pattern to all of them. And it's kind of like, you know, for the most part, what you're signing up for, and you could relate to someone else who works the same 9-to-5. Like, let's say you both work at an office building, you do different jobs, but you understand each other's life. And let's say you work at a restaurant. Yes, all the restaurants are different, all the recipes are different, but it's the same thing. You have, you know, the cook, and you have the dishwasher, which I didn't know that was an actual thing. Like, the person's actually called a dishwasher. That's so funny. Anyways, but so there's all these different things, and I think people are so curious when it comes to social media and content creation, because there is no like set schedule, there's no set pattern, there's no set way. And I think it's very intriguing for us humans because we're like, wait, this is new. Like it's always new. And anytime someone shares like a day in the life or come to work with me, or this is what my job looks like as this or this, it's always so different. And everyone has a different schedule and a different life, and they're all working within different creators. Some of them are signed to companies. Some of them are doing it all by themselves. Some of them have editors. Some of them edit it themselves. And it's just so intriguing to see all these different humans doing this as a full-time job. And I think that's another thing that makes it so unique, is that these are all actual individuals. And I think it's very easy to forget that. And I think it's why people easily leave hate comments, or not even hate comments, but just absolutely outlandish comments. I think it's very easy to forget that these are real humans with real human brains, with actual like feelings and emotions. And you're not just commenting to McDonald's and saying, your service sucks, I don't like you. I'm sorry, McDonald's, you're just the first thing that came to mind. McDonald's doesn't have feelings. Sure, the thinking person who came up with it may, but like the fact that you said the McDonald's off of whatever street at whatever address sucks, this has nothing to, he doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that company doesn't really care because the company isn't a human. At the end of the day, when you are commenting, your service sucks to a human, maybe it's a singer-songwriter or a streamer or someone who just does like Instagram or TikTok or even podcasters. There's so many different content creation aspects out there. It's not just one thing. When you go and you comment, your service sucks, or you suck, or this is so boring, or I hated this, you have to remember that you're not commenting, you're not rating a 5-star review on Yelp, but you give a 3-star review to a human being. A lot of them take it personal. A lot of them, it affects them. It affects them very, very strongly. And so I think we often forget that these aren't companies. These aren't robots. We have feelings, we have emotions, and these jobs that we take on, yes, we're signing up for it. When I signed up to do this full time, yes, I'm signing up 100% to receive hate. I'm signing up to receive death threats. I don't agree with it, and like, yeah, it sucks, but it is a thing that you have to take into account for you're signing up for it. You're signing up for people to be weird and cross boundaries. You're signing up for all the negatives as well as the positive. Like, I'm signing up for countless days of hanging out with a community that accepts me for who I am, and I get to accept them for who they are. And sometimes I'm the first person that's ever accepted them for who they are. And that feeling is so great. And I get to share with them Christ's love because I have so much love for him that I just have to give it to everyone. Like, I can't keep it to myself. And being able to love on my community, these people, sometimes for the first time, from either a human or a Christian or someone who just doesn't agree with the same thing. Like, we have different beliefs, but they're like, wait, so you still love me? You don't hate me because we have different beliefs? And it's like, of course I do. We're allowed to disagree. Like, we don't have to all agree. Like, that would be weird. If we all agreed on the same thing 24/7, we'd be robots. Like, yes, I still care for you and love you, even though we disagree. And so being able to be that first for people, like, it's amazing. And getting like to play games and have people come watch, like, that is so amazing. And getting to film, going out and hang out with friends or just by myself and coming up with new series, it's so fun. And designing for you guys is so fun. Everything is so fun, and the positives overcome the negatives 100%. I'm just pointing light towards, like, they're real people, and it's not just, this sucks, like, move on. I think we've dehumanized and forgotten that social media, yes, it's a job, but these aren't corporations. These aren't people working. Like, you're commenting about this human. That aside, I think it's why people find it so interesting, because everyone's different. Every single content creator you see is different, and they all bring something new to the table. And I think it's really cool. And I think that's why a lot of people are interested. And I think it's what draws so many people to content creation, because they're like, wait, that person's being themselves. They're weird, they're cringy, they're whatever, you know? They're not perfect. They don't fit the mold. They're not wearing makeup, or they're not super ripped, or whatever it is. Absolutely whatever it is. They're like, wait, they're just normal. I want to be just normal. Wait, I could do this. You know, I think it's very magnetizing. It's a very magnetizing career, because it's like, wait, I could be myself. I could enjoy it. I can have my own. I hit my mic. I can have my own schedule. I can go on these big fancy trips for free. People will send me free things, and it does sound really cool. But I kind of wanted to talk about both the good and the bad of content creation, and just from my personal experience. And I'm not, the all-knowing content queen. It sounds like a nice title. But I obviously don't know everything, and I've had different experiences, especially, I would like to point this out. I have different experience, especially because I was in a band since I was 7, and I have grown up touring and meeting people from 7 to 18. And that is a very, very large chunk of time. 11 years. 11 years is a lot. 11 years is a lot for a growing child into a teenager, into an adult. I was a kid, a teen, and an adult, all while being and touring in that band, meeting people, and online. So I'm going to have different experiences that maybe someone who just started posting YouTube videos in school and got popular off of it and posts them full time, because I've been under the eye both online and in person because I was a drummer, Everyone's eyes were on me, both online, commenting whatever they wanted to say, and in person, commenting whatever they want to say. And so I just want to put that out there because I am going to have different views than someone who may have just started doing it one day, streaming or content creation or podcasting or whatever it is. I'm definitely going to have a different view because I've lived with touring in a band as well as doing media on top of it. See, I just kind of I asked you guys on my Instagram, you guys really, really liked the mental health podcast, which I would 100% am down to do so many more of those. You guys have so many good questions. And so I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram again for your streaming or content creation questions. Because I definitely want to ask you guys, like, what do you guys think? Like, well, what are your questions about this lifestyle, as well as just some things that I want to share and put out there in case someone's like, I want to do it, and tell me the good and the bad, and I'm going to be brutally honest because I think that's really the only way to go about it. You can't sugarcoat it because sugarcoating's not going to get you anywhere. So I say we start. I say we dig right in. I didn't even give you guys a life update. I like to give you guys a life update. I didn't do it. So life's been great. Life's been pretty fantastic, and I've been vibing. I will say I missed my therapy appointment last week, and I didn't know they had a non-attending fee. So Lula will be paying for missing her therapy appointment, which I actually kind of like, because it's like if gyms made you pay when you missed going to the gym, less people would miss the gym, But also it's like, it's a little much, It's like, I missed one, guys. Come on now. We don't have to Anyways, I've been having good days, taking rest days, because if you don't know, I got sick. I still kind of sound a little nasally. So I haven't been lifting as much or working out. I've been trying to just get walks in or just get some fresh air. This is probably the longest I haven't worked out, and my body's kind of like, what's going on? So I did weighted core yesterday because I was like, I have to do something, and my core is dead, and I'm like, oh, I've already lost it all. But I haven't. I've been trying to remind myself, hey, take it slow. It's okay to have rest days and rest weeks when you're sick. Even if you're not sick, it's still okay. So I've just been dealing with that sickness, but also just kind of resting and getting ready to start my part-time job, which will just be in the morning, so I can still stream in the afternoon. So yeah, life's been lifing. And I got some more Funko Pops, which I'm really happy about. I have been slowly adding to my collection. I always collected Funko Pops. I take them out of the box. If you don't like it, sorry. I want to look at my collection, so I take them out of the box. So I am collecting more, and I got a new Scorpion one, and I just got a Groot and Rocket one. It's actually like a combo one I really like. And I'm looking for the Diva one. I am on the search for the Diva one. I've been going to different anime shops or comic book shops, and I've been searching through and trying to look at. So far I found Reaper, Cassidy, and Echo. But I can't find Diva anywhere. I found Reaper at multiple ones. And I'm down to get them eventually. I'll get all the Overwatch ones eventually, but I really want Diva. So I've been diving into my collection more, and I'm excited about it. But yeah, okay, that's my life update. Now let's get into it. So I wanted to start with what I think the pros and the cons of working in social media are. Not so content creation, social media. I think it's the same thing. I don't know. And I'm going to kind of generalize YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Twitter's not really and podcasting. I'm going to generalize everything that I've been a part of. So I'm going to say certain things and be like, wait, YouTube doesn't have that feature. And it's like, okay, I'm talking about Twitch then or whatever. So I'm going to generalize them all. I would say the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Definitely 100%. But I don't think content creation is for everybody, and I don't know if I would recommend it. Which sounds silly because I'm in it. I'm literally, you're here listening to me doing the job that I'm saying I don't know if I recommend, but you'll understand why I say that in a bit. But I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Some of the main pros, I'm literally just gonna go off the top of my head, so if I miss something huge or something, bear with me. But some of the main pros that come to the top of my head is, first and foremost, my community. And I'm not trying to be cheesy or be like, oh, you're just trying to say it. My community is, which I tell them all the time on my streams, genuinely like a second family to me. And oftentimes I find I have a very close relationship with my mom and dad, but oftentimes it's hard to even tell your own family certain things that are going on. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because they see you every day and you don't want them to hear something and then have to face them the next day and be like, oh, you know what I told you, and like I don't know. Or if it's just the fact that it's like being vulnerable with a family member. I don't know what it is, but my community is truthfully like a second family to me, and I can be vulnerable. I can talk about things that I don't really talk about with my family, and I think it first started when I allowed myself to be open about my mental health with you guys and talking about just everything I had kind of been through and what I was doing to help myself and how hard it was on the road. You guys were some of the first people I talked to about like, wow, guys, this is really hard. Like, I'm struggling. And it wasn't a pity. It wasn't like, oh, we're so sorry. Like, oh, no. It was a nice combination of like humor. We joked about it, and encouragement of like, you've got this, we're praying for you, like keep going, you've got this. And it was so needed for me. It's like I need humor. I don't need people to like pity me and like I don't know, I get uncomfortable. I'm like, wait, no, don't don't pity me. But it's like I need that humor and also just encouragement, and my community was able to do that for me, as well as I know from just what my community has told me, I've been able to do that for you guys. And it's really nice to have that relationship with you guys and be able to have this little family, this little community of like, we're all there for each other. And yes, my platform is growing and I am very appreciative of that. But there's a part of me that is a little like sad and is going to miss the little family aspect that I'm able to have right now, because I know everybody's names. I'm able to pretty much answer everybody in chat. We sing happy birthday to people that's like it's their birthday, and I know it's things like that that aren't gonna always be possible, because there's gonna be so many people that it's like you can't always sing happy birthday unless we sing happy birthday every single day, but it like kind of makes it not special. But it's a part that I am gonna truly miss, because it is so sweet, and my community has just been there for me, and it's really nice. And I do still have that boundary, like I've talked about with them. You guys know Luda. You know Luda and the personality that comes with her. And part of it is Lulu. Part of it is who I am. Like I said, I talk about my mental health. I talk about the things I struggle with. I share the good news. I share part of my life. But there is a part of Lulu that isn't in Luda that the internet will never see. There's things I struggle with that the internet will never hear or see. There's good news I have that the internet will never hear or see. And that's the part of Lulu that I keep for myself, because I feel as if, and even growing up, this is what we always did. If you give 110% of yourself to the internet, you're going to lose yourself within it. And it can really cause imposter syndrome and just like not knowing who you are, because you're like, everyone knows everything about me, and as a human you're not meant to have thousands of people knowing every single detail, telling you, oh, you told us this news that this is this, you should be making this decision for this and this. And it's like, I don't need that. I know mentally for me that would not be good. My guinea pigs are so loud. That wouldn't be good for me. So there's a part of Lulu that isn't shared, but for the most part, like Luda, everything I share with you guys, like it's so nice to have that bond and to be able to just laugh and hang out with you, and you accept me for who I am. I am so weird. Like, genuinely, sometimes I sit and I watch VODs, or I think about, I'll be like talking to myself or coming up with skits in my own head and literally like saying them out loud. And I'm like, I am a psychopath. I'm so weird. What in the world? but you guys accept it and you laugh and we have so much fun and we dance and we rave, and it's like I'm a potato sometimes, and it's just being able to be myself and my inner kiddo being welcomed. And it's just, I feel like I just shine and I just have a glow whenever I'm streaming and creating content and filming and vlogging. And even the podcast, it's a little bit of a more mature glow because I the second I put my headphones on, I can hear myself. I don't really hear myself. It's very rare that I turn my mic playback so that I can hear myself when I stream, because even when I hear myself, I go back into band mode of be professional, don't say don't, I just said it, you know. So I rarely let myself hear myself, but whenever I do my podcast, I like to hear myself to make sure, you know, if something's being too loud, it doesn't interrupt it. So this is like the most mature I feel like I get in content creation. But even then, I feel like sometimes it goes off rails, and I'm like, oh brother, this isn't a YouTube video. You can't be doing this. So yeah, I think it's just the community has played such a huge part in my life and how happy I am within this and why I still strive to do it. And my whole purpose for me being in this industry is to share Christ's love and to be a home for people that don't have one, and to be a community for those who feel like outcasts. And I kind of talked about it in my episode about myself, but I always felt like an outcast, you know. I always felt like no one wanted me to be around and no one liked me and this and that, whatever. And so I wanted to be a place where people felt wanted and people felt like I was excited to see them, and others in the chat were excited to see them, and they were listened to and welcomed and allowed to be themselves. If they just want to sit there and not type, go for it, you know? So I wanted that my whole purpose of content creation is to have others laugh and give them a smile on the suckiest of sucky days. I want them to be able to come to my stuff and get a little bit of a smile and be like, that was nice, you know, get a little bit of an escape. And I want to share Christ's love with them. I feel like that's my purpose, is to just share his love. And that doesn't mean, you know, shoving Christ and the gospel down people's throats. And I think sometimes that gets misunderstood. I'm truly just here to share the love that I feel from my God to others. And if you believe in that God, great. And if not, that's okay too. And you're still welcome to hang out. And I hope you still feel the love as well. So I think the community is one of the first and foremost, like, positives of what I get to do. Another positive I would say is for my mental health. It is really healthy to be able to decide, am I going to stream today and interact with humans, or am I going to do more busy work like emails or typing out scripts or editing, you know? Just for the way I work and have worked for 11 years, like I said, within the van, with how busy and go I am, I get burnt very easily. I get very, very burnt fast, and it's going to take years of just, you know, resting and being okay with not working, which is really hard. It's nice to be able to decide, I don't think interacting with humans is healthy for me today, and being able to do that. I think another positive, obviously, is getting to share my imagination and be a little kiddo for my job. Being able to share that imagination, whether that's through playing video games with people and having people show up and creating the gaming experience for everyone to enjoy, but it's different, you know. Everyone can go play the game themselves, but it's fun to put my imagination into it to make it different. With YouTube videos, my imagination, my editing, it makes it different, and just being able to share that with the world, it's really, really nice. And I always made short films growing up, so it's a little like, oh, this is so fun. I'm trying to think of some other positives. I mean, I love cameras, and I love not so much like audio, but I've been getting into more audio. And so growing up, I always had a camera in my hand. I always was looking at camera and camera lenses, and so getting to use that within my work is super, super fun. And, you know, getting to like be like, well, I have to buy a camera. It's just not, you know, like, I don't know how to put it. I guess it's a very dumb, what's it called, comparison. But you know the amount of joy you got when you got to go buy new pencils for school and like new notebooks and all that. It's the same joy I feel when I'm like, wait, I have to buy a camera for myself? Let's go! Like, now I have an excuse. So that's a really fun part of it. As well as getting to just talk about my favorite things, which I guess falls into the the community part. But if also like in TikToks, I get to talk about anime and games and like Marvel and all this stuff. As well as my YouTube videos. I get to make YouTube videos on specific subjects that I like. It's really nice to be able to pick what I do and what I make videos on. Another one is sponsors. Sponsors are super fun. I know for like financial wise, sponsors are a huge chunk of what keeps streamers or content creators afloat. As well as like they're just fun. Dude, I find them so fun. It's like, wait, you chose me out of all these people to test your game or to promote your game, or you chose me to promote your company, or you want to send me products to like post out and like promote. This is so cool. I just did or I have a code for Olipop, and like I drink Olipop all the time. I literally just went and bought 2 Olipops from the store, and it's like when I bought it, I was like, I have a code for this. It's so cool. And like I think it's more of like a cool thing for me. I don't know if it's just because like it's like, all right, we get it. Like it's not that cool, but like it's so cool. I was like, wait, what? This is so cool. And I think the higher you get, it becomes even cooler because the sponsors just get bigger and you're like, wait, why you want me? Huh? So I think that's a very, very fun part of it. And for the negatives, I don't want to like sit on this for super long just because being negative sucks. And we talked about this in my stream a couple of days ago when we were playing Overwatch, which Overwatch is becoming one of my favorite games. Overwatch 2 is literally becoming one of my favorite games. And I don't know what it is, but it's overtaking everything. Like it's almost overtaking Valorant. I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of scared, and I need them to kind of like rope me back into Valorant because I can't become an Overwatch nerd. I'm not gonna let myself do that. I think we talked about just like the mindset of negativity, and there's always negativity, and it's easier to look at the negativity, but you gotta stay positive, you know? So let's talk about some negative. I just want to give some of the cons because I think people are like, oh my word, I want to do it. It's so easy. I want to do it. It's easy money. So I want to kind of talk about the cons, and maybe not even just cons, but like kind of kill off some of the rumors, or I don't know what to call it, but just not true things about content creation. Starting with everyone's rich and lots of money. No. I am getting a part-time job to fund some of the things like editors or to buy groceries, you know. It is not a like, oh, you just get to make money and sit there and do nothing. And it's like I don't, maybe the top of the top, but us smaller content creators are busting our butt just to make enough to put back into our videos, or like a setup or streams or games. Like I have to buy these games. I have to pay for all these things that I'm using. So that's like one of the first things, like, oh, you just make like thousands of dollars off of TikTok. I made a cent, literally 0.01 cent off of a TikTok live. I think the most recent one I did, 0.01. Like I don't know what that's buying, but that ain't buying one of those fake little cars at like Walmart. I ain't buying that. That's not even buying like a candy bar. That's not even nothing. You ain't buying nothing. You can't even get a gumball. So I think just to put like that kind of conspiracy aside, it's like, oh, all people have to do is like go live on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, again, the bigger people, sure. Me, I don't know what y'all think about. I'm making 0.01 cents, so that's that one. Your own schedule thing. I was just talking to a friend about this recently. Yes and no. You do get to have your own schedule, sure. You get to decide when you are going to go live, or you are going to, you know, go check your comments or reply to emails. But you also have to answer. You're on call. You have to answer like immediately. If someone calls you and you have to answer that call, you're answering that call. If you get a collab and that person can only stream that night, but you had already streamed that day, guess what you're doing? You're streaming that night. So sure, you get to decide if you're going to stream in the morning, but no one prepares you to get that call that you're streaming that night too. So you have your own schedule until you don't. You have your own schedule until a TikTok blows up and you literally have to sit on your phone for hours replying to comments or creating video replies to those comments to continue to build off of that algorithm push. Like it's your own schedule. Unfortunately, until it starts to work, until your hard work starts to work, a YouTube video blows up, a podcast episode blows up, a TikTok blows up, and then it's not your own schedule and you can cut that crap out until that starts to fail. When your stuff is failing, you can get your own schedule back. So it's like you kind of don't want your own schedule, but at the same time you do. It's a very hard, like, you know? So That is one of the other cons, and I think everyone's used to the hate comment con. Like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get hate comments. You're gonna get death threats. You're gonna get opinions that really suck, and you're gonna get opinions when you're going through something really hard. That's really hard to hear, and you're gonna get comments about your family members, or you're gonna get comments about your friends, and it really sucks because like when it's about me, it's whatever, but when it's about my family, it's like. So I think that one's definitely a tough one. But I think everyone's heard enough about that, and I've talked about it before, where you can't take the good comments, and then it's not as hard to not take the bad, and you go from there. And if you got to, you block them, you know. But to me, all comments are supporting comments, because the more you comment, the more I'm in the algorithm. So comment that I'm cringe all you want, because that just pushes me back into your For You page, and I'll see you next Tuesday where you comment the same thing. So I think that's just been a con, and as well as. I think the people how do I how do I put this? People are very judgy and very entitled to thinking they deserve to get to know everything just because you signed up for content creation. Because you posted about this certain thing, you now owe us to post about this. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Or because I sent you this certain thing, or this donation, or this gift, or this whatever it is, you owe me something. And it's like, no. No. I never asked for that. I never agreed to that trade-off. I provide entertainment. I provide streaming. I provide podcasts. Whatever it is for them, I provide that. You provide that. That is what you were providing, and whatever if they like the video, if they comment, if they share it, if they click any of the links from it, if they send you something from it, if they donate from it, that is all. It's kind of like tipping. It's like you're tipping your waitress. She doesn't owe you because you tipped her. She did her job, and you tipped her because of her job. Does that make sense? And it's really hard when you get those people who are like, you owe me because I did that. And it's like, you can have the stuff back well, tips aren't refundable, or the donations aren't refundable. It's like, you can unlike the video, you can unshare the video, you can you can unfollow me if you want. Like, you don't owe you anything. So I think that's a little bit of a con there, because people get very, very aggressive with it. I think that's the issue. If it was just like, oh, people like that, like, yeah, it's bummy, but when they get aggressive with it, it gets very scary, especially as a female. And I'm trying to think of like any other major. I feel like I'm missing like a major con. I guess maybe just with relationships with people. Not even just like romantic, but family wise or friend wise. It's really hard when you're a content creator to keep up those relationships, because, like I said, you're not really on your own schedule. And so you get a call that you have a sponsor, but they need that stream or video tonight. And it's a family member's birthday, and it's like, I can't pass up this opportunity, but also this is literally my family member's birthday. And I know for some people be like, wow, you're putting work above your family. But when you're in content creation, it's almost as that is just as important as if your boss were to call you and say, answer my call tonight, or like, there's going to be issues. Not so much you're getting fired, but there's going to be issues, or you might get demoted or something. And it's like, it's hard, you know. It's a hard balance, and of course everyone wants to say, oh, I would pick my family. I'd always pick my family. Of course I pick my family, and I'm right there too. I'm like, yes, of course I would pick my family. It's really hard when you're put in that position, and when your family's like, oh, go do it, like, we don't care, and it's like, I don't know what to do. And it's hard when all your friends are going out to hang out, or your family's going to hang out, and you don't go hang out because you're streaming, or you're filming, or you're editing, or you're up late at night. You know, it's very glorified, but the parts of it that aren't shown are all of the hard work that is put behind it, all of the long nights, and all of the exhausted ideas that don't even do well, and you see them just plummet. It's like, I really stayed up till 3 a.m. for a week on that idea, and it plummeted. It's like, wow, I just not only wasted that time, but I worked really hard, and it was basically just thrown away. And it's really hard to accept that there's nothing that changes that, you know? You can maybe try to repost it, and maybe it'll get a couple more views or do a couple more things, but it's just hard. No one really. There is a very large chunk of it that is luck. So I think that's just like the hard part to accept. But I think mentally it is not for everyone. And that's why I don't think I would recommend it to the most, is that mentally it's just not worth it. And because I have done it, again, for 11 years, I have learned what to do, what not to do, what's good for me, what's not, what causes burnout, what doesn't. But here I am, you know, dealing with a lot of issues, and a lot came from media, a lot came from working constantly within it, and there is no turn off button. There is no get home from work and relax. You are constantly working, whether you want to or not. When I turn off this camera, I'm picking up my phone and I'm working on replying to people or videos. And when I turn off my phone, my head's going, okay, what's next? I stream, I need to create this video, I need to edit. I go edit. You know, when does it stop? It doesn't stop until, of course, you know, until you reach that part where you can hire someone to edit, or you can hire someone to help you come up with ideas. But it's like, even then, when does it stop? Then, because now you're snowballing, you know, now you're gonna, it doesn't stop. And I think that's very hard for the mental, and I just don't want to see it harm more people. And if you can do it properly, you think you've got it, you think you can do it strongly, and you have a support group around you, and you have people that will help you keep accountable to not working 20%, and be like, all right, you've worked for this chunk of the day that you said you wanted to, stop working. Like, this is what you said. I have a thing set to 9, it's a 9:47. Like, I'm 47 minutes off of when I should be stopped working, but here I am working. It's hard when you have that like mentality of like, I got to, it doesn't matter, I have to, it doesn't matter what I want, there's a deadline. And I think it's really hard, even with the support groups, to fight that mentality that everyone else in social media is doing, because it's like, all right, you can make it healthy, you can do it healthily, but then you see all these other people that are like, I'm up till 4 a.m. editing and do this, and it's working for them. They're achieving their goals, but it's like, at what point do they burn out and aren't able to do anything, because it's just so much on the body, you know? We're meant to work, but we're not meant to work 24/7. We're also meant to rest and to relax. So I think that's just my like pros and cons of it. Of course, if you want to do it, if you feel called to do it, if you think it's really like, I chose to, after the 11 years of what I went through, because I feel called to it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't. I feel like this is my purpose. I feel like I'm called, and no matter what it takes. And when I say that, I don't mean I'm gonna stay up till 3 a.m. Because I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. It causes a lot of mental issues. Sleep is very, very good for your brain. What I mean is, if I have to work a full-time job and keep doing this, I will. If I have to wait years, I will. You know, I'm not afraid to work for it because I feel called to it. And whether that's God or just my spirit called to it because I grew up watching streamers, or I don't know what it is, but I've always wanted to hold a camera. I've always wanted to film. I've always wanted to entertain. I've held dance shows for my mom and dad to just entertain them and get a laugh. And so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to try to do it healthily. And if I can share tips to help other people do it healthily, I'm so down, because if you want to do it and you feel called to it, 100% go for it. Just make sure you're very healthy with it. Please, please, please. If you take it from anyone, take it from me at 18 years old, dealing with so many issues, literally from a therapist who's like, you come to me with what most 50-year-olds come to me when they're burnt out, because they've been working their whole life. And she's like, you're 18. And so it comes from anyone, and you want to trust anyone, please just make sure you're healthy with it. Don't overdo it. And if it's meant to be, it'll come without you destroying yourself over it. I'm not saying it doesn't take hard work, and I'm not saying it doesn't take time. I'm not saying it doesn't take patience. I'm not saying it doesn't take a village to like make it work, but it won't require you destroying yourself if it's meant to be. And I can promise you that, because the more I make sure I'm healthy with it, the more I make sure I'm mentally good, the more I see it prosper. And the more I destroy myself over, the more I'm up late at night editing, the more I'm on myself about it, the more I see it very stagnant and very like at a stop. And I don't think it's coincidence. And I feel like if you're gonna do it, please do it healthily. It's very fun. It's a very fun lifestyle, and you get to do a lot of fun experiences. And if it works, it's absolutely incredible, and it's a dream. But there is a side of it that is very hard, and if you're not mentally ready, it will destroy you. And I don't want to see that for anybody. So that is why I say I'm slow to recommend it, because I don't want someone to be like, well, she said to do it, so I'm gonna go do it, and then they're mentally destroyed, and it's like, you told me I should do it, and then I'm like, oh no. So I'm gonna go answer a couple questions before we finish this episode. Let's see. Someone says, is there a specific time to start streaming? I think that there is no specific time. My top recommendations is make sure you have a camera. There's possibility to do faceless streams. But even if you aren't comfortable with your face, there are a lot of like VTuber apps that are free that you can use. Snapcam is free that you can use. And that's where I get all my fun filters from. And so even if you don't want to show your face, they have that. And I think people with cams do prosper a bit more than people that don't have cams. So I'm not saying it's not possible. So you don't have a cam, then you don't 100% need a cam. I just think, in my personal opinion, it works better. A mic, you don't need a fancy mic. You don't need a fancy mic at all. I literally used a $30 mic off Amazon, I think, or $40. You could use an Xbox mic. You could use any mic. Just make sure it doesn't sound like very like staticky. Just make sure it's very clear. And a PC. That's all you need. I stream off my gaming laptop whenever I am traveling. So you don't even need a big tower. You just need a little laptop and go from there and be yourself. And I think that's the right time to start streaming, is when you're ready to accept everything I kind of stated, the good and the bad, and you're ready to go for it. And if you don't want to, you don't have to make it a job. I also want to put this out there. Plenty of people do it as a hobby. Plenty of people take streaming and do it as a hobby, and they are so happy with it. And I think that is what most people should do, is before, like, when you start, take it as a hobby. Take it slow. That's what I did. I was 17. I took it slow. I took it as a hobby. I did it for fun. Don't take it super, super serious and like a super, super serious job, or you're going to burn yourself out. Just take it for fun. And if you want to do it for fun, go for it. It's so fun. It's so fun. Especially if you have a community. It's so fun to hang out with you guys. So take it as a hobby first and just relax and enjoy it. Someone said, what companies do you use? I think that is like probably like the tech that I use. For podcasting and streaming, I kind of use the same setup. For my TikToks and Instagram Reels and most of the time my pictures, it's just my iPhone. And then for streams and podcasting, I use my Sony a7 III. If you watch my streams, I have sucky Wi-Fi. It doesn't look like a Sony a7 III, but it is, I promise. And then that's also what I sometimes take pictures on for Instagram. My PC and everything, I'm not going to go through everything because I have a video on that. I should do another video soon because it's not on my channel. So I will actually do a video on that soon. Some of my main things, like I have my Shure mic, I use a Razer headset, I have the Go XLR for my audio. I really, really like it. I really recommend it. Logitech, I love their mouse. I love the little egg shape. And everything else. It's some kind of major things. And then I have just like lights that help with lighting. But yeah, that's the companies that I use, and there's probably so many more. But yeah, those are the companies I use. What do you use for podcasting? For podcasting, I use a site called Riverside. I don't think it is necessary if you're doing things, but with the collabs that I want to do, it is very easy instead of going to Zoom and all this to do it. So I use Riverside for my audio whenever I'm just doing it by myself, and then I use my Sony Cam recording. But if I am collabing with people, I use it and they can call in. And then for releasing it, I use a site called RSS. And I personally love it. I think it's done a really good job, and it's so easy, so simple. So that and YouTube, but YouTube's like free. So the other two things I do pay for, but YouTube's free. So if you want to just start on YouTube, I say just start on YouTube. Let's do one more. What is a niche, and how do I find one? So a niche is what people will most likely recommend to you for kind of like TikTok and YouTube. To have, it is something that you are going to be known for. It's something that you specialize in. So for me, my niche would be gaming or drumming. But right now I'm focusing a lot more on gaming, I guess streaming and gaming kind of go together. And it's doubling down on that niche to then get an audience who also games or also streams or also plays drums. Because, you know, if you sew, you know, and I come up on your thing, you're gonna be like, like I don't care about gaming. But if you game or you like anime or you like streaming and I come up on your thing, I'm like, oh, I like gaming, you know? So it's whatever that that one thing is, or 2 thing or 3 thing, whatever it is that you want to specialize in. And I think to find one is just like, what do you like? Do you like to sew? Do you like to walk dogs? Do you like to game? Do you like to watch movies? Do you like pop culture? Do you like anime? Finding what you like and specializing in it, because don't pick something that's popular. Don't pick something you know nothing about, because you're not going to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to talk about it. Pick something that you like. Pick something you can talk about, and I can assure you can make a niche out of it. Do you like the ocean? Talk about the ocean. I can assure you there's a bunch of other ocean nerds that want to talk about it. Not me. I don't like the ocean, but they're out there. So yeah, it's whatever you like and just specializing in it. So yeah, I hope this episode was informative and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just a little talk about social media and content creation, and I'm gonna talk about it maybe more directly on YouTube or Twitch or TikTok, maybe more on the specific sites. But this is kind of just a little general talk if you're looking to get into content creation and just kind of some of the pros and cons of it. I'm gonna go eat because I am starving. So I appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and come back every other Tuesday for an episode. What was my outro thingy? Subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, but don't be a meanie. Something, you're always a queenie, and something, I think I messed it up. All right. Love you guys. At LudaWissy everywhere. And join the community if you haven't already, and you'll be great. Okay. Bye-bye.